win every time, and then just, like, milk the shit out of that strategy. Missed the news section. Rip in peace, slow news days. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel bad that everybody misses a bunch of stuff from it. It's like, no matter what we do, I guess, there's gonna be somebody that wants things to be a certain way. So I guess I have to try not to dwell on it, but I definitely understand what you mean. I like the idea of the new segment, and I'm glad we did it, but at the same time... Oh my god, how do I even do that jump? I guess I just have to go over them, huh? I don't think I can actually do that where I'm expecting to jump. Will you be playing Rebirth co-op with Ryab? No, because it's local only, and I don't live in Vancouver, sadly. You know, yet another case of indie game with local multiplayer striking again. I'm half tempted, though, to, like, figure out how to set up a freaking, like, local network tunnel so we could try some of this stuff anyway. I know it can be done. I have no idea how to do it. Maybe one of my friends that knows a lot about networking could help me figure it out. Do I really have to jump over to the left of this? Because it seems so impractical. God damn it. This level's not even nearly as bad as the last one. I really shouldn't take this long. Show could benefit from having a guest host at least once a week. You're telling the wrong guy. I don't get to make the decisions, unfortunately. But, you know, let Ryan know, I guess, like, on the subreddit. He does read it. I mean, I do, too. And it's like, it's one of those cases where we're trying to appease the most people, and unfortunately in this case, like, majority sort of does rule, although, I guess to a limit. Because obviously if, you know, 2,500 people leave when we do a certain thing, well, like, we'll probably not want to do that thing again, whatever that was. I don't think that's ever happened, but there certainly have been segments that have tanked pretty hard. Do I enjoy living in New York? I heard it's very expensive to live there. Hang on, I'm jumping. Actually, move to the bottom of the screen and try to... Oh, I totally just missed. I've heard people it's very expensive to live there, and there are quite a lot of people. I don't actually live in New York City. Misnomer, New York State is a very, very large state. Yet, it seems like anytime people talk about New York, they always mean the city, which is like 5% of the geography of the area. So yeah, I live upstate, and it's not nearly as expensive as it is in the city, obviously, and it's not nearly as populated. In fact, I live on a mountain, and oftentimes I will go longer, I will see more deer than people in a long period of time. That's sort of a better way to put it, and it's kind of ridiculous at times, too. There's not a lot of people around, but, you know, by the same token, you know, it's nice to get the peace and quiet. You don't have much going on most of the time. You can be pretty much, you know, out doing stuff and have privacy and all of that. But also, you have to drive everywhere, and there's nothing convenient around here, and, like, technology is very slow to happen. So, you know, all of that stuff kind of does factor in, which is why it's cheaper, obviously. Oh my god, he dropped the jump again! I guess there's multiple ways you can get through that set of jumps, huh? Yeah, the state has a little dingle. I mean, everybody's got a little dingle sometimes, right? There we go. New York City and all of Long Island should just split off and make their own damn state. That would be hilarious. How the hell do I do this jump? I really do think that I need to just jump over all three of those spikes and go left. Because I don't think I can get the height necessary unless I just completely miss that block on the upturn. Maybe I can just completely miss that block on the upturn. Nope. I was gonna try and do the same kind of like sideways angle jump that I had to do to get through that crevice before. I've recently encountered a moose in upstate New York. I guess it depends how upstate you are, because, you know, after a while, upstate New York basically becomes Canada. If you go up into the Adirondacks and stuff, I'm actually not quite that far up. Although I'm not that far off either. Clearing the spikes from ground level is definitely easier than doing an F-jump to the top of the block. You think so? Alright. I mean, I'll try that again. Oh, got it! Cool. Do I have to jump over that machine shooting the arrows? I don't know if it kills me. Whatever, I'm not gonna find out. We beat it! Now time for a really arduous looking water level. Okay. Progress. Did you try out Path of Exile at any point? Yeah, people ask me about Path of Exile all the time. I have watched someone play it, didn't look that interesting to me. I agree that it could be good, but it didn't look appealing to me in the way that Diablo did for some reason, and I didn't play it, but I did see someone play it, so I have some opinion, I guess. This is goddamn crazy. Can I get over this garbage? Whatever. They're bugles, not Doritos. Alright, so I can get through that whole thing on the first fall. The first fall. Sounds like some kind of new Halo game, doesn't it? Halo the First Fall. Totally could be a thing. I don't even know what that's in reference to, but it just sounds like a thing that Halo would do. You plan to do anything else this stream? Depends, I guess. Depends on my mood, depends on my energy level. Did you ever get hooked on any MMOs? Absolutely. I feel like I've said a lot of this stuff in prior streams, but I guess we've got multiple people coming from multiple sources, so, you know, no harm in going over stuff a second time. Yeah, my first one was an old Apple MMO. That was the very first game that I had played that was an MMO, and I think I was like 9 at the time. It was called Clanlord, and I really liked that game, and I don't know if it went anywhere or if it became popular ever, but that was my very first experience. I also played... There we go. I played a lot of Final Fantasy XI for a while. Had mixed feelings on that game in general. And, okay, I gotta go left and right there. And, of course, I played a lot of World of Warcraft as well. It was actually a pretty big linchpin in my past relationship, actually. I was very addicted to the game myself, ended up getting my ex addicted to it as well, and she was more addicted to it than I was, and became, like, a prominent raid leader in the server that she was on, so it ended up taking like a lot of our time away from stuff, and then that was like an issue and stuff. So, you know, play games in moderation. That's the lesson I learned. And if you're going to introduce it to somebody you care about, like, make sure that that's also able to be moderated, I guess. But whatever. Can't control what people do. Did you hear that Misha from Periphery wrote a song for the Halo Remastered Collection? I did not hear that, actually. That's pretty weird. What did you roll in World of Warcraft? I was a Fury Warrior, which only carried me so far until we could dual spec, and then I became a half Fury, half Prot Warrior. I played from, like, roughly the end of Vanilla to the end of Wrath of the Lich King. I think. Yeah, I think that's right. Cataclysm. I actually think I played Cataclysm for like 2 days, but I didn't really stay with it after that. So everything since then has been totally foreign to me, and I've pretty much sworn off MMOs since that whole experience, because it really did make my life much worse for a while. I mean, no judgment if you're into MMOs. I'm not saying stuff, you know, do whatever make you happy. It's just, for me, I think I should probably not play MMOs. I have too addictive, or addictable a personality, if that's a thing you can say. Have you ever considered playing League of Legends, or you're not into the MOBA scene? I played a little Dota. kind of same thing with World of Warcraft and Dota. Like, I kind of feel like those sort of fall into the same trap for me. Also, I just don't really like Dota as much, so... Yeah, with WoW, I got really addicted because I was super into, like, exploring and stuff in that. I was kind of weird how I played WoW, actually. I kind of played it sort of like a solo game, like an offline game, which I know completely defeats the point. I would, like, kind of avoid talking to people and just walk around by myself a lot of the time. I mean, eventually I did join a group and stuff, or, like, a guild, but it wasn't a big deal. Do you remember what server you're on? I think I'm Staghoof? Staghelm? Staghelm? Is that a thing? It's been several years, so my apologies if I forget, but I think it was Staghelm. That sounds right. Hey there, YTB Crazy, how's it going? Let me know if that's actually a server. Oh, we're getting a Doxy raid now. Well, welcome, raiders. If you're joining us, I appreciate that raid very, very much. And thank you to Doxy for sending people my way. Of course, if you haven't already, check out Doxy's stream. Feel free to post a link, anybody that can. I was a Lion Scum. I was a Night Elf Fury Warrior, so, like, everything that makes people angry. Oh, Staghelm is... Okay, so that was my server then, Staghelm. Yeah. So yeah, if you're just getting here, this is... I want to celebrate 100. 100 floors of pain. This is floor 83. Been at this game for, like, months now. One day I'll finish it. I was hoping that day might be today. The pacing, though, is telling me probably not today, though. It is going a lot slower than I anticipated. I had a big lucky break on the last run where I got through 20-something floors in one stream. And I'm not as good as Bananasaurus Rex, who can just blaze through all this crap and never really get stuck all that long. I don't know how he does this stuff. He's so freaking good. Hang on one sec, I need to resituate here for just a moment. And have a sip of my drink. Just rewatched the NLSS where Nick and Josh almost threw trivia and NL was having none of it, so hilarious. Yeah, I remember that one. Good times, great oldies. Classic trivia. Yeah, at least I am still making progress. I have no doubt in my mind that I can finish this game. It's just about if I can withstand losing for long enough, which, you know, I can. I'm not saying I'm impatient. I am quite patient when it comes to these games. You can watch me play like a half an hour on one level, and I'm probably not going to get that upset. It really doesn't bother me. It's just a game. He uses a Game Genie, huh? Okay, well now I know his secret. I have to steal it and use it for my own. Really wish I could just get through this little square section here. I have no idea how someone's supposed to do that, if you're even allowed to or able to. I mean, that would basically let me skip the whole damn level. Or most of it, anyway. Ugh. Why can't it just be like a straight free fall? At least a couple of times when you and Josh both got a few wrong, you went fuck it and through the whole thing. Yeah, and then they usually got turned into Dracula fetus videos. Or that time none of us knew about what order the planets were in. That was a very embarrassing thing for me, but it's all good. You can't laugh at yourself, you know? You're not gonna have much fun in life. This is actually Modern Warfare. Yeah, it's got all the shooting sections of Modern Warfare. Boom, boom. Terrorists. Boom, boom. Shooting all the terrorists. You're a bigger man than I. When you get stuck in a level for a long time, I get so pissed off. Sorry. I'm not trying to piss you off. Just trying to do my best. At least the music's pretty sweet, right? Whenever you get upset, just like take a big deep breath and just go, man, this music's pretty sweet. And then everything's fine again. Hit scan, no bullet drop-offs. Of all the things to put in all caps, that is the one that needed to be done. We need the sonic drowning effects. Dun 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 dun. Whop. No, thank you. That music actually, like, makes me terrified sometimes. Like, if you want good tension music, you needn't go further than the sonic drowning music. I think it's kind of, like, indoctrinated into my body to believe that that's a terrifying thing. You're about to die. Like, that poor hedgehog cannot breathe underwater. I'm still, like, a little fuzzy on how the physics of him breathing bubbles out of the ground works exactly, but I trust that they've got all that shit worked out somewhere. I'm sure they had some top scientists on the scenario working it out. And it almost seemed like, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm the crazy one here, but it seemed very, like, the bubbles were kind of conveniently placed. Like, they were just far enough apart that it led to a little bit of tension, but not so far apart that it would ever lead to Sonic just drowning outright, because he's not able to reach oxygen, which makes you wonder, you know, like, is this all set up? Did somebody put those there to make sure Sonic got through the level unscathed? What does that really say about Sonic the Hedgehog? Is there like a conspiracy? Is it designed for Sonic to win, to beat Eggman? I mean, I know this is a little crazy to say, but like, those kind of thoughts just cross your mind a little bit. What do you think of the Humble Bundle? I don't remember what was in the most recent one. Is that the one with Prison Architect? If it's that one, then it's really good. That might have been the best one, actually. What if Sonic the Hedgehog isn't even real? Holy crap, I didn't even think of that. You know, where does this stop? There's got to be a limit, right? There's only so much capacity that the human mind can really stand to comprehend. After a while, you just go insane. So we've got to keep ourselves grounded a little bit, otherwise we're going to end up ruining lives, and nobody wants to see that happen. Sonic's a majestic creature, and he just wants to go fast, and that's fine. Oh man, existentialism with Sonic. The greatest place to be existentialist is with Sonic. I was thinking maybe... Oh, what if I try and go... That's like an awful thing to do, isn't it? Oh, wait a minute. What if... I have another idea. What if I try and go through... Don't walk into the damn spike, you silly goose. I don't remember what I was going to say. There's a spike at the top of that platform, and I was thinking, what if I make a little U, like upside down U shape? Maybe I can just kind of like skip the whole right part of the level, because really not too keen on that part. Like the whole wiggle woggle around the spikes embedded in the wall, I'm not a huge fan of that. That's an awful angle, though. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Oh, god damn it. Why do the shapes have to be so strange? I know what you mean, Nick, like we only use 10% of our brains anymore and we just blow up. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's good science right there. Sometimes up to 15%. Alright, let's not push things. 15's a little excessive, don't you think? Yeah, the 10% thing has become a joke. On the RockLee_ebooks I'm not really sure the best way to describe that word in practice, but it's, I've kind of made pseudoscience like a running gag, where you take the dumbest crap that you can find that people say and claim as real things, and just sort of like exaggerate it to the furthest logical conclusion, and try and make it like really obvious that we're talking about pseudoscience and not actual real things. So like I would say, you know, people only use 1% of your brain, or you're made of % water. That's like not a thing, obviously. But it kind of piggybacks on... I'm explaining the joke right now, by the way. Sometimes you feel like you have to explain the joke on YouTube, because you get people who are earnestly confused about just about anything. And I don't mean that like a put down, it's just like... people come from all different backgrounds, all different contexts in life. And you can't expect everybody to get every joke, but you kind of wish they did. So you end up explaining them, which is not the way that jokes are supposed to go, but you do it anyway, because you want to make sure everybody has a good time, I guess. You know, I try my best with Rock Lee books. I hope people enjoy it. Sometimes it goes off the deep end, or it gets derailed with just inanity. But, you know, I try to get it back on track as soon as possible when I can. I think the not getting the jokes because their kids aren't native English speakers. I mean, maybe most of the time, some of the time, I don't know what I want to say about that, but regardless, I don't want people to miss out on the joke. Alright, I really want to not do this part anymore. Oh, god damn it. I actually think I have to wait longer than I intend to every single time. I'm actually too early on switching sides. Computer, can you load up Celery Man? I love how much that's become a thing now. Do you think we'll ever see a sequel to the mysterious Obelisk saga? Oh. I don't know which Obelisk saga you're referring to. There's actually a couple in my life right now. And that's okay. I was writing a book about obelisks, actually. Then I just stopped one day. It's weird how that happens, right? Like, you get into this mood, you're like, man, I'm gonna do something that I've wanted to do for a while. And then one day you just don't want to do that thing at all anymore. And I don't know why that happens. You just completely change your mind on it. Aw, man. That's a donation from Mentos Man 8 for $10. Always nice getting home from work and being able to catch you streaming. Time to throw money at you, Kappa. Thank you very much, Mentos Man 8. It's a secret. Sincerely, really appreciate the donation. Everybody's been incredibly supportive again tonight. I think you're all wonderful. If you're gonna love this, when I was working at GameStop, one of my supervisors started talking to me about dream science and claimed she had seen evidence that people only use 10% of their brains. Okay, well, good old evidence. Who needs it, right? When you've got pseudoscience. Really, I really wanted to not die there. The thing about evidence, when you're talking about claims like this, is people that have a loose grasp of critical thinking in the first place fashion evidence into whatever they want it to be, kind of. Like, when I say evidence, I mean they fashion the term evidence to fit whatever preconception that they might have a lot of the time. I mean, I don't mean to unfairly mischaracterize the person you're describing, but, like, if they're making that claim, you know, they don't have evidence, so there's gotta be a problem there. Did I end up finishing Upstate? No, I didn't. I actually had to cut the recording after that, and I moved on to something else. To be honest, the game was interesting to look at, but it wasn't capturing my attention. I was enjoying it on a superficial level, but I don't think I got it the way that I needed to get it. Excuse me. There was many of you probably know this already, but the developer, I think, goes by Amon26, also developed All of Our Friends Are Dead, which was very, very similar side-scrolling shooter, kind of really dark, macabre action game, as well as another one which I'm now playing. Oh, Ausable, and I think another one called The Hunt, if I'm not mistaken, but I didn't actually try that one. But the two that I mentioned first, in addition to the one that I can't pronounce the name of, Gyosate, are all very similar thematically. They all have this very dark, kind of Silent Hill vibe to them, and they all seem to revolve around some very esoteric storytelling that I'm all for, but I don't necessarily get. I just kind of like the look of the games. I'd be willing to figure out more about the story, but I don't know, there's something about me and horror games. I kind of feel like mostly every horror game that I've ever played is very cliched in some way or another. And that doesn't mean that there's not room for a good one to come out. It's just like I have a hard time breaching the barrier that I seem to set up for myself that says, oh, stick with this, it'll get better later. For some reason, I just have a hard time getting with that concept. How do I do this? I get like one bounce, I think, to go through the middle. Okay, well, I'm not going to get to the middle when I hit the corner of the spike first. Alright, see you later, Juke. See you later, Phantoms Y. Yeah, I am using Joy to Key, you're correct. The eternal nemesis of all streams that I do, Joy to Key. Because usually, when I'm using it, I don't intend to be half the time. Because I change games and forget I left it on, so then I'm doing key presses and it's like substituting for other keys, and then it's a big old problem. By the way, if you want to check in, right now we are 9 hours 22 minutes in on this game, in total, throughout all streams of this, and I have 3,272 deaths accrued at this point. I like to just bring that up occasionally, in case you were wondering. And if you're wondering where I'm getting that information, no, I'm not just like pulling it out of my head or remembering or something, it's actually in the title bar of the game. So it's above the window where you can't actually see it. But I can see it, you just, you don't have it in the screen region. Because it looks kind of cheesy having the top of the window in the screen region, you know? Have you tried The Forest? Not yet, I intend to though. Have you played Five Nights at Freddy's? Not yet, but I intend to though. Did you watch the Binding of Isaac, Isaac video that Edmund retweeted? No. I don't think I know what that is, actually. Have you beat the Impossible game? I think I got close. I don't think I finished it, though. Alright, like, right there? I can't go too high on this thing, because it just shoots me way up. One of these days... If you want something awesome to read, check out the Legend of Zelda Wikia. It's flipping amazing, seriously entertaining. Did you listen to the Magic episode we did, the last one? That went up yesterday, where we talked about the Legend of Zelda timeline for like 20 minutes? That was an interesting talk. I actually forgot most of the things that I was trying to discuss during that, but like enough like resonance of a memory was still left in my brain that I could sort of go in directions that seemed like I knew what I was talking about. Remnants is probably the word I was looking for, not resonance, but same, kind of both work in a way. I super look forward to a Five Nights at Freddy's from Nick. Yeah, I could do that. I could maybe I'll make YouTube videos about it, because that would be kind of funny. I do everything on stream, and I had a very good message that, you know, kind of clued me into, I think, some of the things that maybe I need to do to get myself back on track if I want to continue doing YouTube. And I think one of those things would be to, like, make more YouTube videos. Seems pretty simple when I say it like that, but somehow you get mired down in this weird spider web of entanglement and forget that, like, yeah, sometimes just doing the thing you intend to do is the way you do that better. It's pretty simple now, but, you know, my head's a very convoluted place to live. Destiny's so grindy that it's gotten to the point I never want to play it ever again. That's bad news. Yeah, I actually picked up Destiny the other day because I had some Best Buy credit that was going to expire and I wanted to use it, and Destiny was the only thing I could think to pay for with it. So, you know.